So, you think you want to live in the villages? I know I love it here, most people do. I'm Gary McAdams with Barbara Anderson Realty, the Villages Realtor. There are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of reasons and things people like about life in the villages. In this video, I'm going to go over my top 20. If you stay tuned to the very end, I'm going to give one last one, so it'll be 21, my true favorite feature of the villages. I'll update this video regularly, so if you have something you particularly love about the villages that I don't mention, please like and subscribe to the video and put something in the comments about other things you like. And when I do part 2 and part 3 and part 4 of this video, I will get to yours as well, the things that people post that they enjoy. The biggest number one thing I think that attracts everybody, free golf. People in the villages tend to like anything where the word begins with free. We have over 40 golf courses that are completely free, and then we have some country club championship courses that are paid, but they're definitely lower than if you were to go elsewhere and pay for an 18-hole golf course. Next thing I like is the activities and clubs. Any hobby you have, any sport you like to play, any interest you have, I'll guarantee you there's a group for it in the villages. If you just go onto Google and type in villages groups, or you can get a list on the villages website. I'm not sure how often that's updated. Also, Facebook has a page called Villages Word of Mouth. There's a lot of great information there on the groups and activities. Next is naturally the great weather year-round. It's December right now. If you're watching this up north, there's a pretty good chance you have snow in your backyard or sub-freezing temperatures. I was just outside. It's only 9 a.m. and it's already 74 degrees and sunny and beautiful blue skies. The village is also reported as being one of the safest communities in all of Florida. So that's definitely a nice feature, especially for the retirees. You don't need to worry about the safety of your house. Please excuse me for looking down at my cheat sheet. I want to make sure I cover everything. The village is also has very reasonable HOA amenity fees compared to other gated retirement communities. It's $179 a month. That includes your free golf, we covered in the first one, maintenance of all the common areas. If you drive through the villages, you'll see all of the common areas, the roundabouts, the berms in between the roads. We have beautiful flowers that are replaced regularly, for what's in season. That's all part of your HOA and your amenity fee. Also, you get the community watch, which is kind of like the village's police. They drive around to make sure that everything's going normal. If they see something wrong, they'll certainly report it. Many of the gates are manned where someone actually lets you in, and all of the gates to get in, the residents have a key card. That's also taken out of the amenity fees. The village also has their own postal centers. You don't receive your mail at the house like most places. You'll go out and get it at the post office. There's probably 100 rec centers that are included in your amenities. There's always a pool league going on down there, movie night, crafts shows, board games. Just about anything you could possibly want. You name it, it's here, it's available. The medical facilities, I hope I'm wasting your time telling you about those, but it is unfortunately something we all need to deal with, especially as we're in retirement age. The village's hospital is amazing. The village's also, I've found, has a specialty doctor for anything you can imagine. One thing that really impressed me with the doctors down here, including my dentist, my eye doctor, my cardiologist, every doctor, they're on time. I'm not used to that. I'm used to waiting hours for your doctor. I had a doctor 10 minutes late one time, and he came out and apologized profusely for being 10 minutes late. You have free nightly entertainment in any of the town squares. There's always music, dancing. They do have a cash bar there that's provided. It's run by the villages, and it's a lot less expensive than to buy the same type of drink in a regular bar. And they're usually a lot bigger, too. That's completely free. All you have to do is go down. We have the Spanish Spring Town Square, the Lake Sumter Landing Town Square, the Brownwood Paddock Town Square, and they're in the process of building a fourth town square. I don't believe it's open yet, but it will be coming very soon. The houses here are very affordable compared to other Florida areas. They range on the very low end. The low dollar houses are some of the mobile homes. The original Villages was all mobile homes when Howard Schwartz, as the founding father, founded it. It was just a mobile home park, and when he first wanted to build on it and expand, he built the golf course, and he used, going right back to my number one favorite thing, he advertised free golf, and that brought the retirees here. The mobile homes you can find on the real low end up to $150,000, and they're pretty nice. It's not a typical trailer park. These are nice mobile homes. Then we have houses in the $300,000 range and the $500,000 range up to probably $2 million plus and everything in between. But for $400,000, you could get a very nice 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in the Villages. It's pretty affordable compared to other Florida retirement areas. Every village has their own rec center and pool, also included for free in the amenities. So, that hot Florida summer heat, you can go sit in the pool, have family, have your grandchildren come visit, take them to the pool for the day. That's always something fun to do. A few of the pools have hot tubs, not all of them, but a few do. There's constantly some sort of show going on in one of the town squares and the theaters. I like the Savannah Center myself. I've seen some great shows there that could rival with Broadway anytime. And the prices are nowhere near New York City prices for Broadway. You're paying Villages prices, not New York prices. Catch a show. We have some great ones. It's also very close to, well, not very close, but it's within an hour of the Tampa airport and the Orlando airport. If you have no traffic, about an hour. If you go during rush hour, allow an hour and a half. If I'm going, I always allow an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes, but I would just prefer to get there way early and sit in the airport than risk being late or having to rush and be anxious going through TSA. There's also any type of restaurant you could possibly imagine in the Villages. Everything from McDonald's and fast food right up to fine dining and luxury high-end restaurants, chain restaurants, bars that serve food. Anything you could possibly imagine as far as food is here. You can get around the entire Villages in your golf cart, which is great. You could live your whole life here without having to even own an automobile. People park the golf carts. They're easier to park. They're easier to maneuver, easier to get around. And you get a lot more golf carts parked in the same place that you'd get a car. If I can backtrack a little bit back to the airports, there's also several shuttles in the Villages, one that you have to go to either Lake Sumter Landing or Brownwood, and they take you. There's also a couple of the shuttles that will come door to door and pick you up and drop you off at your front door. And there's a pretty good variety of private drivers that will take you right to the airport. It's almost like an Uber or a car service. And they take you directly to the airport. It's just you and the car and private driver. Of course, that's a little bit more money than the others, but it's definitely an option. Also close to your local sporting events for all your favorite sports teams. We're about an hour and a half ride to go see the Tampa Rays play baseball, the Bucks play football, the Lightning play hockey. We're about an hour from Orlando. That's a great basketball team. And the XFL is going to start back up this year. And Orlando also has an XFL team, so we'll have football in Orlando as well. Shopping for everything you could possibly imagine. We have stores from large department stores like Walmart and Target to little small boutique stores. We have some high-end clothing stores. We've got just about everything you can imagine. It's a city just like any other city, and we've got some great things, great shopping. You're never at a point where you can't find something to buy. The beautiful landscaping everywhere. If you haven't had a chance to drive through the Villages, if you haven't moved here yet, just drive around the neighborhoods, drive around the common areas, up the main roads. You'll always see colorful flowers. The trees are well maintained. The grass is green. The grass is freshly cut. Almost every day you'll see the work crews out there working. And that's also included in your amenity fees. At $179 a month, you're really getting a lot when you figure what you get for what you pay. Then they have the polo matches during season. If you haven't had a chance to watch a polo match, those are a lot of fun. At the beginning of the season, then again midway through the season, the villages offers 2 or 3 days of classes explaining the rules of the polo to you and what to see, what you won't see. I found that very helpful because I'd never been to a polo match before. I didn't know anything about polo. I wanted to go check it out, and someone suggested taking these classes first. I did, and I liked it a lot. And if you're a fisherman, we have a freshwater fishing club, back to the clubs in the villages, right here in the villages and our lakes. But if you want to get into something a little bit bigger, there's probably 50 lakes within a half an hour drive from here. And you're about an hour and a half to either the west coast or the east coast of Florida if you want to go offshore and do some saltwater deep sea fishing. So that's relatively close as well, no long, multi-hour trips. Tennis and pickleball is about 50 tennis courts. They can play tennis, or pickleball is the new big thing down here. It's very similar to tennis, except you use a smaller wooden paddle racket, and the ball is like an old wiffle ball. And if you remember playing wiffle ball when we were kids with the plastic baseball. Pickleball's really picked up here. That's my list of my 20 favorite, and as promised in the beginning of the video, we'll get to my true favorite, the great people. Everybody here I found is always willing to help, willing to offer suggestions, willing to tell you what they like, warn you what they don't like. Nice thing about being here in the villages is very few people are from the area, so we were all that new kid on the block at one point in time when we all needed help at one point in time. And people definitely pay it forward here. If you ask any of your neighbors or just even approach someone at the town square and ask them a question, they'll be glad to help you out and answer. If you want to look at any homes in the villages, give me a call, 352-809-8723. I'm Gary McAdams with Barbara Anderson Realty, the Village's Realtor.